Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." So today, I am going to be a good man. I'm going to talk about Pokemon Platinum. So this game is the third in the Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum saga, which those came out in 2007. And this one came out in 2009. And people say that this is a good Pokemon game, but it's not perfect. The big gripe many have with this, no denying this is a classic. I mean, no denying it. This is a classic. It's a little bit slow. I mean, the pacing could be better. There's some parts that are a tad bit slower than others. Some of the animations when attacking Pokemon can be a tad bit too slow. Notably, these are for my Pokemon, my big Pokemon historians out there. Blissey is a Pokemon with a humongous HP stat. So if you try to hit Blissey with a move that will one-shot it, the health meter, it moves really, really slow. So again, if you're not a big Pokemon fan, I am sorry for the gibberish I'm about to speak, but I used Infernape in my playthrough, and I used Close Combat on the Blissey, and it went very, very slow. I mean, really slow. But to be completely honest with you, to me it wasn't really a big complaint, because overall, this game has stood its ground as being one of my very favorite Pokemon games of all time, and really, it has become one of my favorite games of all time. Now, my number one favorite Pokemon game, that would be a duel between Black and White 1 and Black and White 2. I love those. But this one's really good too. This is a great game. I actually just beat it for the first time the other day. I've owned it for a while, but, my poor attention span has gotten in the way and made it kind of hard to beat it. But, no, this is a great adventure to go on. Pokemon Platinum is, it's quite the adventure. It's quite the tale. The tale of following your dreams and saving the day. No, more or less, it's a tale about taming animals and fighting them with each other. Doesn't sound super kid-friendly on paper, but in practice, all will be well. What do I talk about next? Oh! What I love most about this game, the vibes. The vibes are just absolutely immaculate. The vibes are just completely immaculate. Like the circumstances are completely immaculate. I mean, the lake theme, if any of you Pokemon fans have listened to the lake theme from Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum, absolutely great. And then there's a really great theme that plays. I'm going to talk about that later. But for now, we'll get to that later. But the game, it starts off a little slow. You pick your starter Pokemon, and you are tasked with completing the Pokédex and defeating all the gym leaders in the Sinnoh region. Hopefully become the champion, which that is, to any viewer who's not particularly familiar with Pokemon, that is the greatest Pokemon trainer to ever live, to ever rule. No, well, in the lore, it would be the most powerful Pokemon trainer that is currently living in that area, basically, is the way I think it would be described. But the game starts off a little bit slow. Again, these complaints are so minor because overall this game is just great. I mean, overall, this is truly a great adventure, and definitely one of the best DS games they have ever made. I think that the complaints of it being too slow are very valid. I mean, I think they're true, and I can't deny that. But I don't know. It's like, maybe it's super slow on purpose. Maybe Game Freak purposely made it slow so you can appreciate all of the really great soundtracks. They made the aesthetic, you're walking by a mellow lake, it's, sunset, or you're climbing a giant mountain called Mount Coronet, and then epic music will play. Or you're fighting a legendary Pokemon, and also epic music will play. Or they were lazy. I don't really know what it was, but I gotta be honest, this finished product is great. It really is. My favorite part about the game, of any Pokemon game, is just growing with your pets, with your friends, the Pokemon you meet, the friends you meet along the way, Maybe when they said, gotta catch them all, maybe what they meant was you got to, you gotta make memories with your friends and enjoy life to the fullest. Maybe that's what they meant. I think that's possible, but the vibes of this game are truly like no other. Another world has emerged in the Sinnoh region. A world where time and space are altered. Catch, trade, and battle your favorite Pokemon, and discover ancient, mythical Pokemon in this exciting new adventure. New discoveries, new challenges. Yes, I literally just read that from the back, 1-to-1. There was no memorization in that, but I think it definitely would be meaningful if I show the viewer what team I used to triumph over the illustrious Elite Four. So this is my absolute gem of a Nintendo DSi XL. But I think it's important I show the viewer what my team was. And the thing that is really cool is this was a humongous improvement from the games that came out before this, Diamond and Pearl. Platinum, I should have said this a long time ago, but Platinum is basically a revamped version of Diamond and Pearl that came out 2 years later. It's the same game. It's the same game as Diamond and Pearl, but they just fixed some things that needed to be fixed. And they tweaked the champion Cynthia's team a little bit. If you guys didn't know Cynthia was the champion, I am sorry if I spoiled that. I do apologize. But anyways, they tweaked her team a little bit, which was a big surprise to me when I was playing it. I was preparing to fight a Pokemon that was weak to grass, but something completely different got sent out, and I was like, whoa. But this is the team. So you've got Gallade, Luxray, Infernape, Garchomp, Togekiss, and Mamoswine. Mamoswine was the Rocky Balboa of my team. He was very underleveled compared to all the Pokemon around, but he had the biggest heart. And because he had the biggest heart, he saved the day. The very last Pokemon that got sent out was a level 60 Togekiss. It was very low on HP. I whittled it, I tore it down with some other stuff, and then it got killed. My Mamoswine was on low HP from fighting, previously. I sent it out. Mamoswine had a move called Ice Shard. Wait, is that what it's called? Yes, Ice Shard. That it basically has priority in the turn, so it would always move first. So I sent it out, extremely underleveled, a lot slower than Togekiss, but because I had Ice Shard, I got to move first and take down the Togekiss and win the battle and save the day and tell her how I feel. No, that's a little too much. I'm kidding. But what I was gonna say is that because I held on to hope and kept fighting, no matter what, no matter how much the odds were stacked against me, I fought to the very end. And we came out victorious. But maybe the only victory that is worth chasing is giving it your all. That's all you can give. No, seriously though, it was pretty cool because Cynthia's entire team was wiped out. My entire team was wiped out, except her Togekiss and my Mamoswine. Super underleveled, like the total Rocky. It's like Rocky in the last round, you know? It's pretty epic. But, well, quite frankly, I don't think there's much more for me to say about Platinum. The big thing they fixed from Diamond and Pearl to Platinum was, well, this is not fixed, this is just different. The cover legendary, each Pokemon game has a cover legendary where, you know, whichever legendary is in the front, at some point in the game, you will tame this beast. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry. You'll tame this beast at some point. The cover legendary in Platinum is Giratina. And on Diamond and Pearl, it is Dialga and Palkia. Cool enough. You can get, I am pretty sure you can catch all three in this game. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But my gut told me to do that, to say that. And, you know, you gotta always listen to your gut. And the pacing, like, it moves, it's still not super fast, but the battles just moved extremely slow in Diamond and Pearl, and they definitely fixed it a tad bit in Platinum. And also in Platinum, one of the biggest problems with Diamond and Pearl was there was almost no fire types to use, which in building a team, that's pretty bad. I think the only fire types that were available in Platinum were Chimchar, Monferno, and Infernape if you chose them as your starter. But if not, I'm pretty sure the only thing you could have gotten was Ponyta and Rapidash. Or I'm pretty sure at some point you can get the Rotom and give it its heat form. I mean, come on. They basically gave you no options for a fire type. And in Platinum, there's a lot more. There's Houndoom, there's Flareon, there's Magmortar. There's definitely a lot more options for the player. So those two big fixes alone, those are two of the biggest problems with Diamond and Pearl. Don't get me wrong, Diamond and Pearl, great games. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, that's a touchy topic. I'm not really going to talk about those monstrosities of remakes. But if you liked Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I'm really happy you liked it. God, not a lot of us did. But no, definitely Platinum did some much needed improvements to the Pokemon Gen 4 gameplay experience. I even put I have a buddy who's not super into Pokemon, but he knows what it is and respects it. And I was telling him how I like Platinum, and I put him on it. And he's like, this is a great game. So I'm glad to spread the Pokemon Platinum cheer this season. Well, now I'm kind of just yapping, so I think I'm going to do what's best for me, what's best for you, and I'll get out of here.